Hey guys, welcome to BLONITY. First, a little disclaimer, this is not financial advice, my own opinion and estimates. My estimates could be completely wrong. Don't trust, always verify, understand the numbers, be aware of scammers, and you know the best how to invest your money. Please be aware that I'm invested in Mara, Riot, Hive, Argo, Bitfarms, Hedate, K1, DMT Blockchain, DigiHost, any coin and Luxfolio. Let's jump right into it. So the market is freaking out here. Bitcoin is dropping big today. I think it's about... One reason could be the Mt. Gox thing. But there's always some FUD. Traders are freaking out. They lose their money because they get liquidated, because they traded leveraged and so on. So we don't freak out. We focus on the numbers, and we have huge numbers from Hive Blockchain. We got them today, the Q3 financials here. And I want to talk about this today. But let's first check the chart from Hive Blockchain. On the daily here in February, we had this nice top. We have this cup here now. And maybe we're trying to make a handle here like HUD8 did. So it was a nice top here last week. Then they raised some cash here to buy an additional exahash. That resulted in a big drop here. Of course, Bitcoin is dropping too right now, and Ethereum, so that's also not so nice. But overall, we're on an uptrend here. And look at the volume here since we're on the Nasdaq. We started here. The volume is increasing and increasing, and that looks nice. So let's go to the financials here. Hive is always outperforming the expectations, or my expectations. It's just incredible. But first, let's look at the assets. It's all in US dollars here, so 318 million US dollars here in assets. A lot of this is digital currencies here, like 123 million here. The bigger part here is Ethereum, of course. They also have nice investments now in DeFi, tokens.com, and some others. Cash was not that big, so that was also maybe a reason for the cash raise right now. They don't want to sell their big holdings. They want to hodl, and it makes sense, and I will show you in this video. No big liabilities here, 51 million overall. Let's move on. So zoom a little bit in. So the revenue is just huge. I was calculating conservative, and I was expecting something like 45 million plus. I was hoping for 50 million, but I was not sure, but it's now 52.6 million. That is, as I'm aware of, it's more than Mara in that quarter. It's more than Bitfarms, HUD, and so on. I think the only one is Riot with 64 million in revenue. So Riot has a higher revenue, but also a lot higher market cap. So the cost of digital currency mining also very impressive. This is electricity and maintenance. It's 7.6 million. So that's a gross mining margin of 86%. So Hive was able to keep the costs very low in that quarter, despite rising electricity prices, for example, in Sweden and in other regions. But they were able to secure very low electricity rates early this year with electricity futures. And that's paying off now. So very low costs here, like Argo. They were also, I think, at 85 or 84% or so in gross mining margin. I think in October they were at 86, but in Q3 I think this is the best mining margin with 86, gross mining margin with 86%. We have depreciation. Yes, it's higher because they have a lot more equipment right now online. Then we can see the revaluation of digital currencies. So plus 18 million. I mean, we should not forget Q3 was not an easy quarter. We were very low in July, and August was also not so high. In September was dropping again. So on average, we were like maybe below 40,000 US dollars or so in these 3 months, or maybe on average 40,000 US dollars for Bitcoin. But Ethereum, had also a nice rise, and that was helping Hive here. Very nice. They also sold some digital currencies here, and the gain was 4.7 million. So I think the majority of this was Ethereum Classic, but also some Ether, I guess, to fund operations. They have hosting revenue. This is dropping now because they bought a lot of miners they were hosting, I think, for Foundry. So this will go lower. I don't think that Hive has a strategy to make bigger hosting revenues here because they're so good in self-mining. And now the expenses also low compared to the peers. G&A 2.6 million, absolutely fine. Foreign exchange loss, so yeah, this happens. You cannot change this. And share-based compensation, so this is 1.5 million. So in comparison with Mara, they have 90 million in share-based compensation, and I think Riot has 40 million or so, or a big part of the cost there of the 40 million was the share-based compensation. Yeah, so very low expenses here for Hive Blockchain. And the unrealized gain on investments here, so also the investments are successful. That's DeFi, which since the end of September increased a lot more, and also tokens.com. So right now, when we're talking right now, these gains should be even higher. So good investments, yeah, and finance expense and so on. But the net income is close to $60 million in Q3. So that's higher than the revenue. And I was waiting for something like this because that's a perfect example for a mining strategy combined with a hodl strategy. Because due to the revaluation of these currencies, also these investments, of course, here, you are able to make a higher net income than your revenue. And that supports my hodl perspective, that hodl is important in the bull market. Maybe not hodl forever. Try to sell coins when the price is high. Don't hodl them all through the bear market. But yeah, right now it's the perfect time to hodl, and we can see here. So that's nice. I'm very happy with this. Also, dilution was not that big. I mean, Hive diluted like 20% or so this year. Okay, they're now diluting a little bit more with the last cash raise, but overall, in comparison to the peers, it's very, very low dilution here. So from September 30th, 2020, it's 345 million shares, and September 30th, 21 year later, it's 384. So I'm not 100% sure, but maybe that's 20% or so, maybe even less. When I look to the Bitfarms financials, I will talk about them later. I also like them, but yeah, they diluted by more than 100%. They also have huge growth, and the stock is doing great. But in terms of dilution, Hive is really not diluting that hard. So I think that's the important stuff. I really cannot find a lot of bad things here in these financials. What is also very interesting is always the MD&A report from Hive. I really like the information we get there, the management discussion and analysis. So right now in Quebec, they have 530 petahash. In New Brunswick, they have 650. And in Iceland, they have another 64, where is it here, petahash. So that's more than 1.2 exahash. I think close to 1.25 exahash in Bitcoin mining capacity. And also the Ether capacity is rising, which I like too. So we have in Iceland here 550 gigahash. And in Sweden 3650 gigahash. So that's 4.2 terahash in Ether mining capacity. So that's approximately 0.5% of the total network hash rate right now, because that's above 800 terahash. So Hive, the hash rate is rising for Ethereum and for Bitcoin mining. For me, more important is now the Bitcoin mining, because the Ethereum rewards will increase more due to a London hard fork and at some point in the future the proof of stake thing. But I always see these things like, proof of what happens with Hive when Ethereum goes to proof of stake? First of all, the bigger part of the revenue right now is Bitcoin mining. So it's approximately 500,000 a day Bitcoin mining and 300,000 Ether mining right now. So 800,000 in revenue a day. And the Bitcoin mining hash rate is growing very fast for Hive. So, and yeah, when they finally switch to proof of stake, no one knows when this happens. They have the GPUs and they can mine other coins, or they can go HPC and so on. But until then, it's very profitable to mine it. We have seen it also with HUD 8 with a 95% gross mining margin for the GPUs, or they claim they have this. Yeah, and it's so profitable right now. And you have a second purpose for these GPUs, so that's not a big issue. Of course, you have to think about what you're buying right now. So these GPUs you're buying now, they should be able to do other stuff like HPC or so. But yeah, but Hive, the majority of their hash rate, they have like 3.6 terahash they bought in early 2018. So this equipment is now 3 years old, and they paid for this data center in Sweden. It was 3 phases. I remember this. Each was 22 million US dollars, so it's 66 million US dollars. And these cards, they really paid off. I mean, in the bear market, they were not that profitable, to be honest, but in the last 9 to 12 months, they did their job very good, and they mined a lot of Ether. And then you add the revaluation on it, because you hodl a big part of the Ether. I think Hive hodls now like end of September, it was close to 26,000 Ether and 1,200 Bitcoin or so. Now it should be more. We will see in the webcast, I guess. By the way, in these 3 months, they mined like 656 Bitcoin and 8,688 Ethereum. So again, I'm not concerned about this proof of stake 2.0 thing. No one knows when this happens, and when it happens, Hive has a big Bitcoin mining fleet. So I'm not concerned at all here. Also, they have now nice investments into DeFi, tokens.com, and so on. So I mean, they're doing everything right here. Also, what they're saying here is similarly for Ethereum mining, the economics have remained strong after London hard fork in early August. There was a lot of speculation that the new fee structure for miners would have a negative impact on profitability. What has actually transpired is we have seen consistent mining economics in the 60 days following the London hard fork, approximately 6 to 11 cents per mega hash per day, that were in fact better than the preceding 60 day before the London hard fork, approximately 6 to 8 cents per mega hash per day. Furthermore, in the 90 days since the London hard fork, Ethereum mining economics have remained consistently strong at 8 cents per mega hash per day through October 2021. So the reward in Ether is shrinking, of course, but when the price is rising, you get a stable mining profitability, and that's what you can see here since June or July here. It's very stable here. Of course, without the London hard fork, we would be a lot higher here. But on the other side, the price would be not that high, maybe. So always not that easy. Overall, very profitable, huge mining margin, huge revenue, and looking forward for the call later, the webcast with Frank Holmes. It's always good, always entertaining. I hope we will get some more news about the hash rate they have right now operational, and what they're doing with these 110 million Canadian dollars when they will add these 1 exahash and so on. And also when I look to my BMXI, I was making my miner comparison yesterday. We can also see that Hive is here on the rise. It's very close to Argo now. It surpassed Bitfarms because Bitfarms had also a nice rise in price. So it's now the time for Hive, I think, to show performance in terms of stock price. That is now important, of course, for Argo too. But Hive is now from these 4 mid caps here very close to spot number 1. And if they continue to rise, they will be soon number 1. But right now it's Argo is still maybe a little bit undervalued because the market cap is approximately the half of a Hive blockchain right now. Okay guys, so I think that's it for today. Thank you very much and see you in the next one. Auf Wiedersehen.